That is a Commodore. Like it or now not, that's the name Holden picked for its contemporary variety of own family vehicles, no matter the multitude of differences between this car and its predecessor. There have been some adjustments arguably for the fine, just like the Calais wagon's transformation right into a excessive-ish, driving SUV in a play for reputation now known as the Tourer. Other changes, certain to be much less popular, consist of the loss of rear-wheel drive and the circulate to a completely imported model variety. You may simplest play the cards you've been dealt, even though, proper. In Holden's case, whilst the Commodore and Calais might be based off the Opel insignia, the local arm has attempted its high quality to present an Aussie flavour to the brand new car via chassis and suspension tuning advanced specially for Australia. Even the V6 engine, the sole powertrain to be had for the Tourer frame style, became included at Holden's request to supplement the turbo petrol and turbo diesel 4-cylinder engines to be had in non-Tourer variations of the Commodore. Because the flagship wagon, the Calais-V Tourer starts off evolved at a completely premium $53,990 plus on-avenue costs. The most effective to be had alternative is $550 premium paint, and the whole lot else you will want comes loaded as well known. Some of the brand new gadget that arrives with the new generation includes a electricity-operated tailgate with hands-loose beginning, panoramic sunroof, ventilated the front seats, heated rear seats, adaptive LED headlights, self-sufficient emergency braking, and distance-maintaining cruise manipulate, all firsts for the Commodore range. Those additions on my own help justify the $3,240 fee premium the brand new Calais-V Tourer contains over the antique Calais-V Sport wagon, no longer to say its pricing step up as compared to the Subaru Outback 3.6R, $49,140, and Volkswagen Passat Alltrack, $51,290, along with being extra powerful than both. One of the extra surprising things about the new Commodore is just how acquainted it feels from inner. With the VF switching to a global GM electronics platform before bowing out, the brand new Commodore carries the identical own family feel with switchgear and user interfaces that received T-Seam out of vicinity to previous Commodore drivers. There have also been noteworthy enhancements to matters just like the 8.0-inch infotainment machine, which uses clearer graphics, is less difficult to recognize, quicker to load, and consists of cell phone mirroring for Apple CarPlay and Android Car well-suited devices. Satellite navigation comes preferred, so too digital radio, with Bose audio system tasked with bringing your song to you, though the audio replica falls very brief of top-class audio repute. Even extra starkly obvious is the huge 8.0-inch shade display nestled inside the tool cluster, which takes the place of the small, low-res display of the preceding technology. It lets in an extra flexible show space, inclusive of complete statistics and a preference of topics for fundamental gauges. Some indoors trims like the smooth black plastics and slide-covered cup holders appearance top rate, while others, particularly the decreased dash and door plastics, conflict to convey the Calais-V's rate roll. The front seats sense as spacious as they ever did, although a few drivers can also be aware the slightly narrower body, and those who like to unfold out will find themselves locked in a struggle for elbow room with the front seat passenger. To stability the ledger, the front seats come with heating and cooling, adjustable side bolsters, or even a easy rub-down function for the driving force. Fancy certainly. The rear seat may be smaller than it become, however again the difference isn't dramatically unique. Width falls a little, but in truth outboard passengers tend to experience towards the door than to each other. There's nevertheless a transmission tunnel to step over, still rear air vents, still a fold-down armrest, and for the first time there's also rear seat heating and a pair of USB ports. Unluckily, exceptional requirements of this unique vehicle appear to have slipped. Panel in shape changed into usually good, but once moving squeaks and rattles found out themselves in both B-pillars, the steering column, the front passenger seat, a couple of locations inside the panoramic roof, and the cargo bay, which also exhibited some fit and end inconsistencies. Holden claims this precise vehicle is a pre-manufacturing unit, so we'll keep a watch on different Commodore variants that bypass through the car advice garage to make certain there are not any ongoing issues. Because the roof seems like it is probably tricky, noise sensible at least, it's also really worth maintaining in thoughts that there's no delete option for the panoramic sunroof. Worse nevertheless, the powered blind isn't opaque, which means things warm up in no time on sunny days, despite the AC set at its maximum, rarely best for Aussie situations. At 560 litres, the boot is distinctly smaller than its 895-litre predecessor, with the decreased width the most apparent shortcoming. Drop the seats, there's an electric-powered launch inside the boot, and the maximum grows to 1,665 litres, but nonetheless a protracted way brief of the VF Sportwagon's 2,000-litre capability. Other areas that have been drastically shriveled consist of the glove box, which now holds little more than the proprietor's manual, and the center console, partially because of its reduced width and partly because of a slot-fashion Wi-Fi charge pad that's truly no extra convenient than physically plugging your smartphone into price. What about the all-vital using enjoy? In place of the ultimate car's rear-wheel drive dynamics, the Tourer friends a 235 kilowatts V6 to a 9-speed automatic driving all wheels, the rears bounce in when required. That's a significant improve at the 210 kilowatts engine of vintage, while torque also climbs from 350 Nm to 381 Nm, and the transmission packs in 3 greater gears too. Legitimate fuel consumption drops from 9.3 L/100 km to 9.1 L/100 km, despite the fact that actual driving conditions over a mixture of roads resulted in an 11.3 L/100 km determine. Saddest of taken with luck, so muscle automobile fans, the preceding Calais' optional 304 kilowatts V8 has been consigned to history. Can also it rest in peace. On the road, the new Calais exhibits that it includes over the massive, comfortable, kilometer-ingesting spirit of its predecessors. Holden invested masses of time and effort to ensure this new vehicle drives like a Commodore of old, and it shows. Over a number of the extra ragged rural roads that fringe Melbourne, the Calais-V Tourer took everything from undulating tarmac to bumpy dirt roads in its stride, at the same time as still coping with descents comfortable and planted, with responsive and properly weighted steerage. There's some suspension crash through on larger hits, and over the types of mid-look corrugations that dominate rural roads, the new Commodore can't maintain its composure the manner the closing Calais wagon should. The Tourer's Continental Sport Contact 5 SUV tires also can fire up a sizable roar on a few sealed surfaces. Grip is virtually now not in trouble, although all-wheel power naturally method extra traction in low grip situations, but the pace with which Holden's twin-stir machine reacts is superb. There's infrequently any wheel spin or torque steer from the large wagon on free surfaces, and that's pretty impressive, particularly for a so-known as on-demand machine. Drop the Calais-V Tourer into an urban pudding and the riding enjoy starts a evolve to fail. Low-velocity maneuvers like tight road corners, 3-factor turns, and negotiating roundabouts screen an unpleasant tendency for early understeer, even at low speeds. Small versions in road surface, such things as tarmac overlaps, enlargement joints, floor divots, and cat's eyes, all unsettle the trip too, moving straight into the cabin with none of the big bump absorbency of the open road apparent over smaller imperfections at lower speeds. Along with the broad peace of mind of all-wheel pressure, the Commodore variety comes with a 5 celebrity and cap rating and packs in 6 airbags, self-sufficient emergency braking with pedestrian detection, a pop-up bonnet, again for pedestrian protection, and lane departure warning with lane-preserving help. All outboard seat belts function pretensioners, the rear seat includes 2 ISOFIX child seat mounts, and the Calais additionally packs in extras not on base model motors like adaptive cruise manipulate, blind spot tracking, rear move visitors alert, and adaptive headlights with vehicle excessive beam. A number of Holden's modern-day tech appears to be blanketed for brochure bragging rights rather than proper capability. The 360-degree digital camera gadget is simply too low-res day-to-day be beneficial on either shiny or low-mild days, and the Blue Dalioth cuts inside and outside but best on occasion every day. Upkeep requirements for the brand new model result in but any other change with 12-month/12,000 km intervals replacing the previous 9-month/15,000 km durations. Servicing by using distance method that up to 60,000 kilometers. The new version will value $1,535 in scheduled protection versus $1,036 for the old. Owners that cover less distance and service via time hit the equal $1,535 mark after 5 years within the new automobile, however can have racked up $1,674 worth of bills in a V6 VF. Of direction, it makes sense that Holden's most high-priced wagon day-to-day carry the biggest and maximum effective engine currently every day be had. If you ring it out, the 3.6-liter V6 sounds fantastic, but in 66B34C3-3A0593BD135E66036F9E3 running the steady exhaust blare every day, an annoying drone that starts a V-valve daily wear skinny. As a car without a real performance aspirations, it might have been daily if Holden had opted for a much less vocal solution. The selection no longer day-to-day offer either the 191 kW/350 Nm 2.0-liter 4-cylinder faster petrol or 125 kW/400 Nm 2.0-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel of lesser editions is also baffling, as both might sit down properly with the Tourer package deal and its positioning. That said, powertrain calibration for the V6 might be very familiar daily. Previous Commodore proprietors with a sturdy wave of everyday torque across a huge rev variety. Even the 9-speed auto stocks calibration developments with the outgoing Commodore, but with stepped forward shift smoothness and a ratio for each occasion. There are times when the throttle suggestions in abruptly after coasting, commonly in concert with the transmission having selected a lower gear, but different times while getting any meaningful reaction comes after a long pause. Any other Commodore first is the inclusion of engine begin stop, which shuts the engine down at a standstill to save fuel. Luckily, the device is one of the quicker and smoother examples of the era, and shouldn't problem too many owners. History incorporates lots of weight, and in particular so for a car like the Holden Commodore that has turned out to be an icon of the Australian lexicon. Any sort of alternate, not to mention a major one regarding massive adjustments to engineering fundamentals, now not to mention an enormous manufacturing relocation, is sure to ruffle ardent enthusiasts of the brand. Setting that history aside for only a second, concentrating on the evolution of the badge reveals a new Calais that's much like people who preceded it. The presence and plushness are unchanged, however the packaging and presentation have shifted. Preferably, Holden desires to get on pinnacle of the small satisfactory system defects that ended in a low excellent first affect of the Calais-V Tourer in this review. Once the logo can manipulate that, the Calais-V Tourer stands every chance of becoming a standout for blending traditional own family automobile values with more and more popular SUV appears.